Hello, more puffalope. It's been like 3 weeks since I last posted a video here, and I can't stream right now because my computer is kind of brokey. It keeps crashing, and I just feel super lonely when I'm not streaming or recording videos or editing a video. So I thought I might as well make this. This is gonna be quite a long video, I think. I mean, you can just hover over the video and tell me how long it. You don't gotta tell me because by the time I'm done, by the time I post it, I'll already know. I don't know why I'm stretching myself. Okay, let's get into it. I'm not gonna make any cuts. We're just gonna go killer by killer and give my own personal take on how much fun I have when I go against those killers. This is completely biased. This is my own personal experience with each and every killer. I'll try not to like extend myself too much when explaining why I find certain killers fun and certain killers boring, because I don't want this to be like a 2 hour video and I gotta go sleep in a little bit. So let's hope that this goes quite fast. I have a bad habit as well of like the first few killers I extend myself a lot, and then the later killers, because I'm getting bored of talking, I go super fast. I'll try my best to keep every killer like the same length and explain why I find them fun. And this is fun to go against, by the way. I'm not taking into consideration fun to play as. Like that could be a whole separate tier list. If you guys are interested in watching this whole thing, like if I see that you guys are actually interested in just hearing me ramble about killers, I'll do one about fun to play as. Okay? But starting out with Trapper, Mr. Evan. Evan is kind of boring, to be honest. Evan is one of those cases where the killer is so weak that they have to resort to like the most boring, unbearable playstyles in the game. And if they don't, it's just an M1 killer. He can't really do much against you other than place traps on loops and force you to run away. But he does have a saving grace, which is when he places the traps poorly or he just gets fucked by the game, and you end up being able to run past the trap. And sometimes you can run past the trap, but the killer can't. So that bumps him up at least 2 tiers just because of how many funny clips and funny moments I've had with that. So I want to put him in B tier when it comes to like how fun he is to play against. I should have renamed these in hindsight, but anyway, Philip. Philip, if every Philip played Chase Philip, I would actually fucking love playing against him if Silent Bell didn't exist either. But it seems like the only way people play this character, which is understandable for an M1 killer, is to just hit people, run away, cloak, and then come back when they're in like a bad spot. So my experience with Wraith players has always been pretty sucky, but it's not as sucky as the actual sucky killers. So he's going in B tier just for being a hit and run killer, I guess. Like most of it is just the fact that he's a hit and run killer. But when it's Chase Phillip, he would probably be an A tier, but that's just so rare that I can't like take that into like super consideration. Billy is one of my favorite killers to go against in the game. He's getting a buff. I'm recording this as Alan Wake is going live. I don't know when you're watching this. Hey, you from the future, how are you? How did you end up here? Alan Wake is going live and he's getting a buff. We don't know. The PTB just happened, so we don't know just how strong he's gonna be. I saw clips of Billy going Mach 7, so if he gets pretty unfair, I doubt that Billy is not going to be fun to go against because it's just a chase movement ability killer, and you're going to find with the shirtless that this is the type of killer that I enjoy. But he's just too fun. Like, playing against a Billy that knows how to play the game is extremely fun. Sometimes it feels like you need a bunch of knowledge to like even understand what to do against good Billies. And I've played against very good Billies, and sometimes I felt helpless. But a lot of the times there's a lot you can do. It's very fun. It's engaging. It's entertaining. You know, nurse for me is insta dodge. When the nurse is super good, you can't do nothing. When the nurse is bad, she can't do nothing. It's just a very poorly designed like killer for DBD. It's literally its own game when it comes to nurse. She's just too strong. There's no skill expression when you play nurse or against nurse. It's like it just depends on like it's just a bad experience every time I go against nurse. Now there are some funny things you can do against nurse, and sometimes if you're going against a mediocre nurse that's not too bad or too good, you can feel like you can do something about her, but not really. She teleports, you know. I won't put her in D tier because this is reserved for like the skull merchants, you know. So I won't do her so dirty, but she's definitely not super fun. Hag, it's like in my experience, Hag is just too boring because the killer is a 4.4 killer. She's not gonna fucking chase you, you know. She's not gonna go after you ever. So and she's going right next to Nurse. There's not much to say about Hag. It's just so rare to see a Hag player, and when you do see a Hag player, it's just not a very great experience. Not in my opinion, anyway. Myers is also pretty boring. M1 killer doesn't really have any skill expression on the killer side. On the survivor side, you just feel like he's just looking at you at all times, and you feel like you're like destroying your team's game because of the way Myers works, because him just looking at you, you're helping the killer. And sometimes it's inevitable. Like sometimes he's gonna look at you and there's not much you can do. And it just feels bad. Though Myers does have some funny moments. So he's not gonna go next to fucking Nurse and Hag, but not super fun. You know, not the best. Not the best they could have done. Doctor, one of my favorite killers to go against. I actually think that Doctor is one of the most skill expressive killers in the game. It's just so hard to play Doctor and make him work. And every time I play against a good Doctor, I just can't help but appreciate the fact that they know how to play this character. I might make a whole video just about Doctor and Plague in the future, because those are two killers that I find super interesting. And I feel like people don't appreciate them enough, or they just pick Doctor to do the impossible skill check build and M1 chase and hit and run. The Doctor has so much more potential than the annoying playstyles, and I think people really don't get it. It's such a easy killer to mess up with, and such a hard killer to like actually do well with. I just really appreciate that, you know. Like it's just amazing whenever I see a good Doctor player. Huntress is okay, I guess. I'd feel bad putting her next to Wraith though. So maybe 8 here. Like I very rarely have bad experiences against Huntresses. I like dodging the hatchets. I like doing the little like prediction mind game stuff when you're going against a Huntress player. So the only time I actually don't enjoy a Huntress game is when she's just cross map sniping, doesn't give a fuck about anything else. That's kind of boring, but those are very rare. So in general, just she's very fun. I'm gonna rearrange everything at the end, so the positioning is gonna matter, but not now. So to the people that already skipped to the end, I mean they're not even listening to me, so why am I talking to them? I'll talk to them once we get to the end. But you can skip to the end now, or just hover over the video and see my positionings if you want to know where the Huntress goes exactly, or any killer for that matter. But yeah, Bubba is probably, no, not probably, definitely my favorite killer in the game. I sound very unenthusiastic right now, but if you're a puffalope viewer and you didn't just drop randomly here, you know that every time I see a Bubba, I become a kid again. I get all giddy and laughy and happy. I'm just gonna put him first place because there's no other killer in the game that I enjoy going against as much as I enjoy going against Bubba. It's just too fun, you know. He is so weird. This character is not fun, but like you never see him, so every time you see him, like you feel like it's gonna be a fun match just because it's fucking Freddy, you know? Like you never see this guy. And then a few streams ago, I got 2 Freddys in the same day, same stream. That was crazy. I'm gonna bump him up to like first place beats here. I might just start positioning them correctly now, and then rearrange later if I feel like I need to rearrange something. Pig is boring. Pig is okay. Pig is pretty boring, but it's mostly the players. But you really don't have a choice. When you're playing Pig, you gotta play boring. Otherwise, you're just gonna get rolled. So yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about Pig. She's just a very boring character. Clown can die in a hole, in a ditch somewhere. I want him to be found dead in a ditch, and no one shows up to the funeral. Nobody. I mean, look at this guy. Do you think anyone? Okay, that sounds so bad. I just want bad things to happen to the clown as a character, okay? That's it. This character is a disaster. Horrible idea. Terrible. Even has massive accessibility issues. This guy is just a. He should actually be deleted from the game. There are no saving graces about this guy. Even the killer design, like the way he looks, his laughs, everything just is obnoxious. I hate this guy. I hate him so much. I fucking hate clowns so much. Actually unbelievable. Spirit can be fun. Like, Spirit can be so fun that I think she belongs in A tier. Just because, like, if you happen to be running Iron Will and you queue into a Spirit fight Cheds, it's just, it's so funny. I feel like I need another tier between A and B. Can I add another one? Add a row below. A minus. Can I do that? Okay. No. This is A plus and this is A minus. Okay, no, that's good. Okay, Spirit goes there. Like, I enjoy Spirit more than these killers, but I don't enjoy Spirit as much as Huntress because Spirit can definitely feel uncounterable a lot of the time. So this is a pretty sweet spot for Spirits. If you don't have Iron Will, it's horrible. It just feels horrible. Legion is fucking dog shit. This character, I don't even know why, but this character is so popular in the South American servers, which is where I play. I see this fucking piece of shit being run with the Thenophobia and Dying Light every single stream that I make. And I actually want to puke. I want to throw up. I cannot stand this character anymore. And I would say the only saving grace this character has for me is the chase music and the aesthetic of the character, I guess. But even that is getting pretty old for me just because of how much I hate this fucking piece of shit. Die in a hole somewhere. Again, be found dead right next to Clown. Nobody shows up to the funeral. You know, that type of feeling, that type of vibe. I fucking despise this character. Plague. Actually, I put Plague S tier in one of my original tier lists. And I've always tried explaining why I like Plague so much. But I realized that, like, no one plays Plague the way I like the way I enjoy plagues that I go against. Like, nobody plays the way I like. So she's going, like, right next to Spirit, I guess, because the rare games that the Spirit is actually chasing and not just puking on every gen and waiting for people to be injured to then just grab power and force slug. Plague is actually very fun, you know. But those games, it's just the way people think that Plague is supposed to be played. And for me, it's pathetic. I fucking despise it. Ghostface it just depends on the player again. It's kind of the same thing with Plague. If they're playing the character correctly, just going for stealthy insta downs, it's very boring. But if it's a fucking goofy ass Ghostface running sloppy butcher or some shit or just committing to chases, it's actually pretty funny. I do hate the fact that you can crouch during the chase because it's just like not being able to see the killer and dying, because that is always gonna feel bad, you know. It's the Chucky syndrome. Devil Gorgon is one of the funniest killers in the game. I fucking love this guy. He's very balanced. There's so many things you can do against him. Every loop in the game is pretty much usable against them. There's always the exchange at the pallets and stuff, and this is something I didn't talk about with Huntress, but like just trying to feel the killer out and like knowing when they're gonna pull up at a pallet and when they're not gonna pull up at a pallet just feels good. It's just like what DBD is supposed to be for me, you know. Oni would normally go S tier, but the thing about Oni is that when he has power, it just depends on how well the player can play with the power. Like, I like going against power Oni much more than I like going against M1 Oni, but still sometimes I had bad experiences with Onis. Oh, but like he's so fun, but like I don't know. Maybe he goes like bottom S here, you know. Like if there was S minus, he would go there because I enjoy him so much more than I enjoy Huntresses. So yeah, he goes there. Deathslinger would like historically be like a C tier killer for me, but I've been enjoying him somewhat. Like, I guess I don't know. I just learned to dodge the shots. Like, sure, it's mostly the killer missing, but I don't know. It just feels good when you dodge Deathslinger shots, just like hunches. But there's just something about Deathlinger that's just, it doesn't appeal to me as much as the other killers, you know? I don't know why I enjoy Huntress and I don't enjoy Deathlinger. They're pretty much the same thing. But it's just, I don't know. You know, maybe he goes like top A. I enjoy Deathlinger more than I enjoy Spirits, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. Unless I have Iron Will. If I have Iron Will, Spirit goes all the way up. Yeah. Pyramid Head would, again, normally be C tier, but I played against a good Pyramid Head that was actually trying to hit me and not just 50-50ing and M2 faking, and that was actually a pretty fun game. So I guess he goes all the way up to A minus. Nah, he goes like top B tier. So rare to find like a nah, like he's fun. Like I can confidently say nowadays that I've had more fun games against Pyramid Head than boring M2 fake 50-50 years in my time playing DBD. And even then he's so much more enjoyable than these killers down here, you know. So I don't know. Blight is actually getting a nerf on the PCB right now, but it's not a nerf at all. He has like an infinite bump add-on, and if that goes into live servers, he's probably gonna be a solid B tier for me in enjoyments. But current state Blights, which is I guess what I'm judging it by, because that's my experience with the killer, would be an A plus, I guess, unless he has the broken add-ons. But because the broken add-ons are being nerfed and turned into even more broken add-ons, I don't know. The thing about Blight is just the add-ons that make him feel uncounterable, you know. It just doesn't feel good to play against a killer that doesn't have any like downsides to their power, you know. Sometimes you feel like there's nothing you can do, and most of the time it is the case. Like there is nothing you can do, and it's just a shame. Twins, what the fuck even is this character? I don't even know what it does. I mean, I know what it does, of course I know what it does. Feels good dodging Victor and kicking the kid and then just teabagging. Also feels good to kidnap Victor. But those games are just slugfests. The Twins play like a piece of shit and thinks that they're doing something by playing a character that spawns a little shit that runs at you like 7.2 meters per second and flies. Like, you're not doing anything. You're not good for downing me with that shit, you know? But you don't deserve to be next to Nurse. But you do, because, like, yeah, fuck this character. Trickster after the buffs is pretty fucking annoying. So many situations where Trickster is just completely uncounterable and not even having the advantage of him being 4.4 anymore. I don't know what they were thinking they were doing with this character. They just number buffed the shit off the shit out of them, and now they're just annoying. So yeah, it is what it is. Fuck a Trickster. Nemesis is pretty fun. He would like be an S tier, but it's like there are loops in the game where he can whip you over, and it's kind of like the same thing with Pyramid Head. It's just a 50-50 fast, except because Nemesis whip is actually faster than Pyramid Head's shot. It is easier to control. People actually try to aim at you, they don't just 50-50. And I'm a Nemesis. Like, Nemesis is one of my best killers, so I understand how Nemesis works, and even then, sometimes he just doesn't feel the best to loop. But he's definitely funner than most of the killers in the game. I'm tempted to put him S tier still. I don't think I've ever had a bad experience against a Nemesis. I've never felt like, yeah, he deserves S tier. I actually really like Nemesis. Yeah, that's okay. Pinhead would normally go C tier again, but I think he's an A minus here. Okay, like up here. He's alright. Like he can have it, you know? He can get it if he wants. You know, talking about coming all the time. Coming, like as in like moving. Okay? He can get it. Pinhead can get it. Actually, I've been looping Pinhead with the box, and those games were pretty fun as well. I don't know why I do it. It's just like looping and chain hunts. Like it's an added challenge. I don't know. Pretty stupid. I died every time, but yeah, I don't know, man. Artists. Can't say I've had too many bad experiences with artists. We all know that the way people like playing artists is just by putting crows on loops and stuff, but I had pretty few bad experiences against artists that actually did that and then threw the crow at the right time. So I can't put her like much lower than A minus, I guess, but she's just okay. She's alright. Unreal can die in a ditch somewhere. Again, found right next to Legion and Clown. You know, the three of them just holding hands. Two more are gonna join you guys. Don't worry. You know, it's gonna be like people are gonna like be curious as to why five people were dead in a ditch. You know, maybe six, probably six, somewhere, and no one cares about them. You know, not even gonna have proper burials because no one gives a fuck about them. Fuck these characters, those hit and run fucking condemned fucking sadicos. They can, like, wow, fuck you. A minus for A plus for Dredge. He's not S tier. No, he's an A minus here just because of Nightfall. Fucking Nightfall. Most of the time, Dredge is pretty fun though. Wesker can go S tier because he's movement ability killer. Like pretty much every single movement ability killer in the game is high on the tier list, right? The only non S tier movement ability killer is Blight, and I guess Nurse. And who else? Nobody, right? Nobody. Pretty fun, pretty fun. I like the Wesker guy. Very few matches where I didn't have a good time against Weskers. Knight, wow, look, the twins. Can you guys believe that these colors were released back to back? Wow, that's crazy. Dark times, huh? Damn, I don't even feel like I have to explain anything, but I will explain why I did this. Okay, so listen. Knight feels better than Coal Merchant sometimes. He's gonna be bottom C, like don't worry. Okay, he's not gonna go any higher than that. But I can play against Knight. I can't play against these colors, you know? Singularity was S tier. I just never see him. I don't even know why I put him S tier last time. I still have like fond memories of like hugging loops pretty tight against singularities and winning the chase because of that. But I just never see him anymore. I don't know how singularity players evolved. So he's going on A plus for now, you know? Oh, me and this guy we have history together, you know? We went to high school together. He bullied me all the time, you know? He used to shove his like wet finger in my ear and that was very uncomfortable. He shoved my head in the fucking bathroom, in the fucking toilet, you know, bullied the shit out of me. Fuck this guy. Okay? I bullied him back on the internet. Fucking hate this xenomorph guy. Uncounterable piece of shit. Anyone that still defends this character, like, please, take care of yourself. Okay? Keep yourself safe. Okay, that was a joke. That was a joke. Okay? Do keep yourself... Whatever. Don't like xenomorph. You guys know that. Okay, and if you don't know, just search up puffalope xenomorph first video. Okay? And Chucky, the last guy. Actually, that was only like 22 minutes, 23 minutes maybe of video. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Chucky is pretty fun. I have very few complaints about Chucky. I don't even feel like his ability to like just disappear during the chase is that bothersome anymore. I learned to adapt to it, and every time I get flicked by a Chucky, I don't feel like I got robbed. I just feel like they played well. Uh, Actually, he's probably top 8 tier. He's almost S tier. Almost. Haven't played against many Chuckies that knew how to like scamper into slice and dice, so take that into consideration. But I feel like Chucky is pretty fun. Most of the time. So let's rearrange this. Let's look at S tier. Bubba is first for sure. Then I'll say I enjoy Demogorgon more than the others. And then probably like Dr. Wesker, not Wesker, then Doctor, then Oni, then Billy, then Nemesis. Okay, that's pretty fair. That's pretty fair. I like that. Chucky's probably top A, and maybe this is a good adjustment. A minus, top of A minus is gonna be Dredge into really Blake. Really Blake. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. And then these really don't matter. Like, I guess we can do a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. Yep, yep. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then yeah, yeah. Okay. That's it, everyone. Thank you guys for watching my fun to verse killer tier list, and I get to use a very old render that Joster made for me. Like that was like months ago, and I never used it because I never actually made the video about the funnest killers in the game. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Now I'm gonna go to sleep now. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.